Joining me today, I'm very excited. I have Katharine Reimer, who is from Steinbach, Manitoba, and some special guests all the way from Germany. We have Joseph and his daughter, Karen. We are going to be talking about a very interesting story that took 78 years in the making. Katharine, my very first question for you is, roughly a year ago, you get this email and it says, "I believe your father is my father's father." What first goes through your head?
Well, scam. That was the first thing we all thought. Aren't there a million people that send you letters every week asking you to send money because you're part of a church or because? So you just don't even think that it's a possibility.
Who was it? Was it you or maybe one of your siblings who decided to read through the whole thing and maybe this is legitimate?
It was me. The email was sent to my brother, and then the contact Karen went down the row. She emailed to my brother first. My brother sent that email to all of us, and then she contacted my sister and phoned my sister, but my sister couldn't make out what she was saying and just thought, oh, okay, this couldn't be for real. And so she let it go. She said she phoned 3 times and let it the third time go to the answering service so they could try to break it down and listen to it again and again. So, but it was Karen that made the effort to do this, and then it was me that kind of said, okay, let's take this bull by the horns and try to figure out why this person is continuing to contact us.
Yes.
Got to be something to it.
Karen, I love your tenacity, how you kept going. That is fantastic. One of you, please tell me what is going on. Tell us what is up.
Okay. Maybe it's easier for me.
Sure.
Okay. Well, what happened is when Karen and I communicated via email, and I was very, very diligent in asking questions that I needed to know to go anywhere forward. Okay, I asked her lots of different things. When did she know the name? And she told me that she knew that her grandfather from her grandmother. She knew from her grandfather, from her grandmother, that her husband's name was Peter. No, I mean her father's name would have been Peter Unruh, and so then she started the search. And I think I told you in my letter that she didn't only have my side of the family to look for. She also had her mother's side of the family. Both her grandparents, or both her parents, are children of soldiers that came into Germany after the war, who walked away and left both of these children without any parents. So they've gone their whole life. So Karen took it upon herself at a very young age, starting around 16, saying, I'm going to find my family. I got to find somebody,
Wow.
And so, yeah, it's just really an amazing
It
feat.
truly is amazing. Once you realized that there was this connection, this could be a difficult thing. It could be a little bit messy. Your father had another child. Mm-hmm. Do we want to get to know each other? Is this a blessing? You've embraced this. Mm-hmm. Talk about how that's been so far.
Well, first of all, my father never, even when when you find out something, you can look back and you can say, oh, gee, yeah, those were the signs. There is nothing, absolutely nothing in any history that we have that made any of us think that this could have been a possibility. Okay,
hence scam.
Yeah, and hence scam, exactly. And my father passed away in 2015, and my mother both of my parents were quite soft, and so my mother was very close to us as kids. And if my father knew, and if my mother knew from my father, my mother would have told us in those 8 years. My mother passed away in 2023. And she never said anything. So for the two of them to go to the grave without, and knowing this, okay, well, it just seemed like almost like it was impossible. So when Karen and I decided, I said, they invited me to come to Germany. And I said, well, you know what? We all live here. You come here. We'll look after you. Come here. We'll look after you. And we invited them to come here and say, you know what? In calculating everything, my dad wrote about 30, 40 pages of his history from 8 years old to, I'm not sure exactly when he stopped, but just to give us, because we never talked about it. It was so painful for him, so the leaving Russia and everything. It was so painful. We never talked about it. And we didn't have curiosity about it because we were a happy family, you know. And so we ended up, when Karen and I made connection, then we just decided, you know, let's pursue this. And we now know that this is true. My dad was in the exact place where Joseph was born, okay, at exactly the time that his mother would have got pregnant. Now, my dad wasn't there when he was born, but and so in those writings is where we found that. And I said, well, okay, that's the end of it. Now we know. We either completely let this go and say, forget it, or we say, I put myself in Joseph's shoes. I said, if I was looking, and Karen has been looking for years, I said, if I was looking, can you imagine to say, I'm found, you know? And that's where we really came from. That's where I came from. I just said, for him, we have to pursue this. We can't, no matter what it means to us, we have to pursue it. And I think we kind of, with a bit of trepidation, kind of walked this icy road, you know, and kind of went, not everybody was completely
on board.
Well, not on board as much as excited about it as I just felt, you know. And so then we had a meeting about maybe 6 months ago and said, okay, we have a brother. He sent us his picture of him as being 20, 21, 22. Well, he looks like my dad. And, and so we just said, okay, so let's come. So they're here.
Amazing.
Yeah, so they're here.
Amazing. And you have another brother?
Exactly. And he came down those stairs at the airport, and there was no question. We all knew that it was him, and we all knew that we were family. And it was just, and my brother, who has grown up with 4 sisters, always wanted another brother. Well, I think I sent you the picture of my brother meeting his brother for the first time. And so it's been a remarkable journey.
Absolutely.
And it's to God's glory because, we have to believe that God looks after all of us, and so just as he's preserved them throughout all these years and continue to give Karen the tenacity to just keep looking, like she'd been looking for like 25 years for people in her family, and now has found both sides of the family.
Absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
Is there a chance your dad didn't know?
There is a chance that he didn't know. I think in the writings, Karen, does he say that he knew your mom? No.
No, he didn't mention my grandmother.
Yeah.
Only the problems he had with her father,
because they were friends. He was friends with her brother. Okay, but he was only there for a few months.
Yeah.
And so, right? And so then he was friends, and then the father was very, the great-grandfather to them was not especially nice. Okay. So, yeah. So
wow.
That maybe was the reason why he left the
whole situation, yeah.
Right. Karen, for you and for your dad, maybe you can speak a little bit for him as well, or just for yourself.
Okay.
How did it feel to know you had aunts and an uncle and that they wanted to see you and meet you and were glad that you were.
I never expected this because I found my family in America, in USA, and I never thought I would find my dad's father because I only had his name and I did not know where to start. We always thought he would have lived in northern Germany. We never thought he's in Canada and his family is in Canada. So
Wow.
it's a little bit of destiny, maybe.
Yeah, a little bit of a miracle.
Yes, all the puzzles
Pieces came together.
and then I found out.
Ich erkläre mal, dass meine Mutter praktisch die Mutter einen Vater versteckt hat vor den Amerikanern.
His mother hid their father from the American soldiers because they were looking for German soldiers. They would take them to prison.
Yeah.
But my grandmother hid him from the American soldiers in a barn, and they did not find him, and they could stay there and get something to eat and live there for a while. But
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Did your grandmother hide her son?
No,
Okay.
hid my father. Hid my father.
Wow.
See, my father escaped from Russia with his family, got separated from his family, and ended up in their area. The rest of the family was in Hamburg.
Okay.
And
hence
then-
northern Germany thought maybe he was from there.
Yeah, and so of course there was lots of fear surrounding the Second World War. Right, it was just over, and they had escaped from Russia. Who are they looking for? What are they doing? So then my dad, their grandmother's family hid my dad, and then my dad became friends with the brother and ultimately ended up having a relationship with the grandmother, right? Yep. And so her name is Rosina. Rosina, yeah.
Okay.
And
is this is before he ever lived in Canada?
Oh yeah, this is when he left Germany in 1945, and this is in 45, the end of 45, the fall of 45. Wow. And then his family, all the rest of them ended up that also escaped from Russia. They were all in northern Germany, and then my dad got a notice from Red Cross that they had found the family and that we had been given permission to immigrate to either Canada, Paraguay, or United States, one of the three. And so then my dad made his way back from that area. So there is a very big possibility because he seems to be very, very honest in the writings that he has. And they've read them because they're all in German and it's really difficult. It seems to be that he was very honest, and it appeared, now when you get pregnant, 2 days later, because you do your testing. But even when I had my kids, you were almost 3 months pregnant before you would ever even think that you were pregnant because you wouldn't. So we're talking about another removed generation. So he may have known, he may not have known, but how his personality wouldn't have appeared to be able to keep a secret like that. So I feel that he maybe didn't know, and then ended up that he did go, and then he met my mom in Hamburg, but then as it was, my mom also got pregnant, and I was born in Germany. My dad then he had no paperwork or anything, so then he went. After I was born, my mom and dad went to the courthouse and asked if they could be married. Well, they said, you want to marry a woman with a child? Go ahead. And they married them, so it was his child. I mean, I was his child. Yes. But so I was born in August. They were married in September. And then they immigrated in May of 1949. Okay. They immigrated to Canada. And so... Wow. Actually, one of the things that happened with Karen is she saw like she kept looking for obituaries. And then the obituary came up that Peter Unruh, they did the DNA testing in Germany. And then, so she knew that she had family in Canada. So when Peter Unruh came up as in the obituaries, then she kind of went, okay, this could be one. So her perseverance really, really did make a big difference. And and so then she also noticed that my mom survived my dad. So she was very gracious and waited, and to pursue, because she did not want the family to. She wanted us to be able to make the decision. And if my mom didn't know, that's not the last thing you want to know if you didn't know.
Yeah.
But
now you and your siblings know you have a brother.
Yeah.
He's here.
Yeah.
Do you mind if I ask, are they staying, are you leaving tomorrow? Are you staying a little bit?
Leaving Monday.
Okay.
Monday.
Yeah.
And how has the visit been?
Oh, great. Katie showed us so much, and we visited all the other siblings of Dad, and it's so heartwarming to know there is family and that we are welcome here. I did not expect it.
That's great.
Ich habe Angst vorm Abschied.
Yes.
Yeah, he's afraid of going home. He doesn't want to go home, but yeah.
Well, that is absolutely amazing. I'm so glad that you guys got your family and you pursued this for so many years.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for sharing this.
Well, I'm so happy to do that, and I just want to say that it's the fact that God kept the pieces, and then God gave us an opportunity to put them back together. It's just, and I think my dad would be proud today of us embracing Joseph, and I think my mom would have accepted him just like she did all of her in-laws, and she just was a really, really warm person. And I don't think that she would have had any rejection in her heart. So, but I'm happy that it turned out the way that it did. And so now it's here we are in our 70s, and we're all going, what? We have another brother, Okay, so
amazing.
It's wonderful.
Oh, that's so good.
Yeah, I really appreciate you taking the time to
Absolutely.
talk to us. Yeah.
And God bless you guys. Enjoy the rest of your time together here.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Thanks,
Okay.
Katharine.
Yeah, bless you.